I need to talk to you about scoring strategies now, because you have a great distance wedge swing. You know what to do as far as saying stacked up, hitting your finish line. You've done your right arm only drills where your right side passes so your body's doing the right amount of work. You have your known numbers. All right, now what strategies do we do so that we can score? Well, obviously we want to give ourselves easy shots. All right, so quality position on the pin matters, but so does fairway. Laying the ball up in the fairway is extremely important. It's worth 9 feet in distance when it comes to proximity to the pin versus being the same distance away in the rough. Okay, so first order of business is fairway first. The second order of business is getting the ball as close to the pin as you can. Now, that's contrary to what traditional thinking is in wedge play. They always say, oh, lay back to a full swing, lay back to a comfortable yardage. But you're giving up ground compared to what you could perform at if you got these yardages, known numbers, and you got good at them. I've argued with players about this. Charlie Hoffman is one of my students on the PGA Tour. He told me, he said, listen, James, I'm really good from 110 on money, but from 50, 60 yards, I struggle. I'm not so good. And I tried to convince him to push the ball up the fairway when he laid up. The statistics prove that the closer you are to the green, the closer you are to the pin. Now, where the disconnect is emotions. So I showed Charlie his data from the year previous. From 100 to 125 yards, he was 11th on tour in rank at 17 feet. From 50 to 75 yards, he was at like 137th approximately. You're right, he wasn't very good from that distance, but the average distance was still only 16 feet away. He was closer even though he didn't feel good about those shots. Because you walk away from a 55-yard shot and hit 20 feet away, you just, like, emotionally don't feel quite as good. So it's a little bit like the movie Moneyball. The data doesn't lie. You can't just do it the traditional way. Fairway first, push it up there second, try and keep quality position on the pin if you can, and then the next issue is we got to get good at our little 9 o'clock and 7:30 swings. Okay, last strategy, and maybe the most important, is we have our known numbers. What club do we hit? What shot do we hit? The answer is you're going to hit a shot that has the trajectory and spin that one hops and stops on the green. Now imagine the course conditions change. If I make a full swing with my lob wedge, it's going to go high and it's going to spin. Let's say it goes 60 yards. If I hit a little small swing with my pitching wedge, 730, it might fly only 60 yards, but it's going to be much lower and it's going to have a lot less spin. Let's think about some of the courses we play. Let's say you have a back pin into the wind with the green tilted towards you and really soft greens. Well, if you make a full swing, it's going to hit on the green and suck back off the green. It's nearly impossible to control your distance and get the ball to go the pin high. So most shots, one hop and stop around 9 o'clock. So we really need to prep and practice your 9 o'clock. So this is what we're going to do. Let's get 9 o'clock swings honed in. And then the first question I ask myself when I'm going to hit a shot, if I'm going to hit a shot to the 60-yard pin, I'm going to say, what club is going to one hop and stop to that pin? All right? Fairly soft conditions. I like my sand wedge. I pull it out. I have my reference. Okay, look at my 730 swing goes 55 yards. All I know I need to do is hit 5 yards more energy than my 55 to hit it 60.